Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, lived a very old lady. Her hair was as white as silver, and her face was a beautiful map of gentle wrinkles. But her eyes were bright, sparkling with a kindness that seemed to light up everyone around her. The villagers all adored her. She was always happy, always smiling, even when life threw its toughest challenges her way. She lived by herself in a cozy little house, nestled near a giant banyan tree. Her husband had passed away many years ago, and she had no children of her own. Yet, you'd never hear a single complaint from her. Every day, she'd sit under the cool shade of the banyan tree, greeting people as they passed, talking with them, and always sharing her warm smile. Life in the village wasn't always easy. People worked hard. There were farmers, carpenters, and merchants in the small market. But some years, the rains wouldn't come, and the crops would wither and die. Other times, sickness would sweep through, leaving people too weak to work. Worry and sadness were frequent visitors in many homes. One afternoon, a young woman named Radha came to see the old lady. Her face was streaked with tears, and her eyes were filled with despair. "I don't know what to do," she sobbed. "My husband went to the city to find work, but it's been so long and he hasn't sent any money. My children are hungry and I'm so scared." The old lady looked at Radha with her kind eyes and smiled softly. "Sit down, my child," she said in a soothing voice. "Tell me, what is it that you think will happen?" Radha wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "I don't know. I just feel like something terrible is going to happen. What if he can't find work? What if he gets sick? What if he forgets about us?" Her voice trembled with fear. The old lady gently shook her head. "Radha," she said, "when we fill our minds with dark thoughts, we make our hearts heavy. But if we try to think good thoughts, we feel lighter. And sometimes, that's when good things start to happen." Radha looked puzzled. "But how? How can I think good thoughts when everything around me is so bad?" The old lady's smile widened. "Let me tell you a story," she offered. Radha, curious, leaned in closer. Once, the old lady began, there was a poor man who had absolutely nothing. No food, no money, and no family. He sat by the river, crying his heart out. An old woman passing by stopped and asked him, "Why are you crying, son?" The man replied, "I have nothing. How can I possibly be happy?" The old woman smiled and said, "You have this beautiful river. You have the tall, strong trees. You have the warm sun on your skin. Look around you. There is so much beauty and life everywhere. If you only focus on what you don't have, you will forever be sad. But if you learn to see and appreciate what you do have, you will find peace." The man listened to her words. Slowly, he stopped crying. He started to look around, really look, and he saw the good things she mentioned. And from that day on, his life began to change. The old lady paused, looking deeply into Radha's eyes. "You see, my dear, the man's life didn't change because of some magic spell. It changed because he changed his thinking. When we think positively, our hearts feel lighter, and we find the strength to face our problems head-on." Radha was quiet for a moment, processing the story. "I mean, my thinking can really change my life?" she asked, a flicker of hope in her voice. The old lady nodded warmly. "Yes, if you wake up every morning and tell yourself, 'Today will be a good day,' you will find the strength to work, to care for your children, and to wait for your husband with hope instead of fear. But if you only think about what might go wrong, you'll feel sad and weak, unable to do anything." Radha nodded slowly. "I understand. I'll try. I will try to think good thoughts from now on." "That's the first and most important step, my child," the old lady said, patting her hand. Radha left the old lady's house feeling a weight lift from her shoulders. Her heart felt lighter than it had in weeks. Every morning she remembered the old lady's words. She would wake up, take a deep breath, and say to herself, "Today will be a good day." She worked hard in her small garden, took loving care of her children, and prayed for her husband's safe return, her heart filled with hope. A few weeks later, a letter arrived. It was from her husband. He had found a good job in the city and was sending money home. Radha was overjoyed. She ran as fast as she could to the old lady's house to share the wonderful news. The old lady just smiled her knowing smile and nodded. "You see, my dear? When we think positively, we invite good things into our lives. Problems will always come and go. That is the nature of life. But if we face them with a hopeful heart, we have the power to overcome them. Word of the old lady's wisdom soon spread throughout the village. More and more people came to her, sharing their worries and their fears. And to each and every one of them, she gave the same simple, powerful advice: think good thoughts, and good will come. The villagers loved her more than ever, not just for her kindness, but for the profound gift she had given them. She had taught them the simple, life-changing secret of positive thinking, a power that resided within each of them, ready to be unlocked. And in doing so, she didn't just change their days, she changed their lives. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that warm the heart and inspire the soul. See you next time.